Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Today's webinar will be about painterly landscape ideation and sketching in Clip Paint, presented by Živko Kondic. Before we begin the webinar, there are some housekeeping items that we'd like to go through. The webinar will be approximately 1 hour long. All attendees will be muted. Question and answer session will be during the last 15 minutes of the webinar. Attendees can ask questions in the GoToWebinar question box right away. Due to time constraints, not all questions will be answered. The webinar will be recorded. The recording will be shared on social media and will be sent via email to all registrants and attendees. The panelists for this webinar are Fahim Nias, Mario Quiñones, and Živko Kondic. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time or have never heard about Clip Paint, Clip Paint is your all-in-one solution for stunning, ready-to-publish illustrations, comics, manga, and animations. Learn more at clipstudio.net/n and graphicsly.com. And with that, we'd like to pass the reins of the webinar to Živko and his presentation, Painterly Landscape Ideation and Sketching in Clip Paint. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mario. You almost nailed my name correctly, but you did good. So everybody, a round of applause for Mario. And
thank you.
He's trying to say Živko, but yes, my name is Živko Kondić. Let me just show my screen. Online, I go by Zhillustrator. I stream on Twitch, I have a website. You can get my prints, and you can watch me do all kinds of things online live. I'm a digital artist from Novi Sad in Serbia. And I've been doing this for, well, about 10 years, something like that. And this is my first chance to share this officially. And Graphicsly kindly asked me to do a little webinar on something that I'm comfortable with. And initially they wanted me to just do like a landscape tutorial, but I decided to try and talk over something that's more exciting and more important, because a process is a process and it's different for many, many artists. Process can differ so much, but some of the basics of creating a little exciting, varied, colorful, like, doesn't have to be landscape, but it's my preference, landscape, is to do a lot of this initial work, which is super, super important, because it's amusing, it's fun, and you don't waste 10 hours working on a perfect sketch. I drew this on my live stream yesterday, day before yesterday. I just went through and spent like a few hours maybe talking to people and drawing this. And I drew this just as we was me and Mario were talking and preparing for this. So yes, I'm gonna be talking about some little approaches to figuring out what you want to draw, and maybe some basic things to get you started, because many people skip these basics, and many people are afraid of color, afraid of sketching for some reason, and they just end up losing so much time working on something that doesn't work. But as I say, this part is I usually say this part is the funnest, the most entertaining, but it's not easy. So ease comes with time and experience. And I will just show you now quickly some of my thumbnails that I just made in the last, maybe this year or last few months. I just want you to know, to see how much different things you have to go through to end up with something that you're comfortable with. So I paint in Artrage and Clip Studio Paint, usually this Clip Studio Paint. This is Clip Studio Paint. You can see it's relaxed. It's just sometimes a jumble of color, but something ends up happening, you know, little scenes being created, even these scribbles. Even in the scribbles, little scenes are being created, little ideas are getting out, and then you can later refine those ideas as I usually do, and I will show you. Like this is, for example, how you take a basic idea. This is painted in Artrage, and then you do some variations on the topic using the same assets, copying and pasting, exploring where to go with a sketch. So I never jump into like a 4,000 pixel canvas. This entire picture is maybe less than 2,000 pixels wide. This whole four little sketches. So I usually jump in at 1,000 pixels or less for a sketch. And this is also Artrage. You can see I mix my colors, I just jumble around. I don't look for perfection. This is Artrage also. Like you can see how many different ideas are expressed in these small bugs. I'm sorry. I am a very serious man, as you all know. I'm joking. You can see how many different ideas are being able to be expressed when you're not overly concerned over details. But this is my comfort zone. I like doing with color because I deal with color. I've been dealing with color for a few years now, almost exclusively color sketches, and it's just became something more comfortable. I mean, I can see what's happening here for myself, and I can use even small sketches like this to make something happen, you know, just to get myself into the mindset of what I want to do. And now imagine taking this sketch and making 20 variations. You know, you can just joke around and you'll spend 20 minutes on a bunch of small paintings. So I do a lot of this. I do it on live streams. Many of you hopefully watched my live streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/Zhillustrator. I do a lot of sketching in Artrage and Clip Studio Paint. And you can see this is just for recently. I do a lot of this because I find this the most important part of creating something. You're just getting these ideas out, and almost each of these sketches now can be turned into something. Let me not waste too much time on this. Yeah, for example, this was from a stream. I showed somebody how would I go. I will show you too now. How would I go with a simple landscape, or how to simply start something. I started this when I was talking with Mario with our rehearsal, and I turned it into this, for example. It's still not finished, but you can see that it just needs some time to work on it. So I have a lot of this. This is variations. I do variations a lot. I do black and white sketches sometimes. This is like a visual jumble, you know, you have no idea what is there. Only I know what I'm drawing here. And if I start seeing something, I will try to emphasize, for example, this sketch here. I have it now, like visually, we know what's happening. It's a ship, it's a sun, it's a windmill, and it's cool. Or these sketches in Clip Studio Paint, you know. This here, you don't know what's happening, but you can refine it, you can add things. This one, it's the important thing is to try to get these ideas out. For example, here is one in Clip Studio Paint. This is the initial thumbnail sketch. This little church here and some trees. Like in my head, those are like trees or a hill. So I'm finding my own shorthand for drawing various things. And it ended up looking like this, and I still have to work on it a bit more. So this would be the second step probably, to refine something like this. Here are some variations. Here's some variations. So I will show you now what became of this one. So this is something I looked at some pretty pictures of mammoth clouds and those like bubbly clouds. I really loved them, and I love this morning mood. And now I have this from it. I'm working a little bit on it. I'm wondering where to put this guy and where to put this thing, or do I even have it? Maybe I can hide it completely, you know. So I've been clicking and moving layers around. So you can see from something very simple, you can get, let me hide some layers and show some layers. Let's see. I don't need this one for now. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you can see slowly building up things. But it was all already determined. Almost everything was determined in this tiny little sketch. I just wanted to give some context to this little sketch. So we're going to be talking about this process mostly because I am the most proficient at this process, and I'm having the most amount of fun with this process. This is Artrage also, but when I sketch, I try to use custom brushes that I make myself. Yeah, that's another big point for me. Here are some more variations on a topic. Like this sketch is the original, and I tried a few variations. So I use Artrage and Clip Studio Paint, and in both programs I use my own brushes. Finland, Suomi. This is the little flag sketches, just for fun. You can see how loose it looks, and I hope it translates how much fun I had making these. Let's take a look at some black and white. These were painted in Krita actually, with Ramon Miranda's brushes. Ramon Miranda is a wonderful creator. If you use Krita, get his brushes. This is also in Krita. But I try to maintain my my visual style, never mind of which program I'm using, because I'm trying to bridge the gap between digital and traditional. And in this stage, in the sketch stage, it's the most easiest and efficient process of bridging digital and traditional. You can see this is very loose, this is very relaxed. I just have some vague idea what I want to paint. And these are some thumbnails. Almost all of them, like three of them made into a full painting. This is also some thumbnails. All right, I'm showing now, I think too much maybe. This is painted on stream also, just to show people how simply one can start chiseling out their paintings. Okay, it's already too much. Some variations. Clip Studio Paint also. Yeah, and in the end, like all these, you can see that there's a bunch of them. I have even more. This is just from this year. And all these things end up like something like this. This is some of my full work. Almost all work that I do is personal art. I just make my art for myself. I'm not a big artist. I don't really have big clients, and I am comfortable in my little world of creating my own little paintings that I'm very happy to introduce Hovercat to you. This is Hovercat. Say hi to Hovercat. And all of these little sketches that I showed you recently can be turned into something bigger, something like you can see Hovercat again. Hello, Hovercat. And none of these would exist. This is not finished yet. So some of them are not. Like this is not finished yet. None of these would exist if I haven't been playing around with thumbnails and exploring visually initially a lot. Because you have, this is, for example, one of paintings that Clip Studio Paint bought from me. So Celsys bought some of these paintings from me. And what I wanted to say, yeah, you cannot really have for me, I cannot have a fun painting anymore until I'm, wow, look at him, you're so cute. Until I'm sure that I want to go with something. So I usually do a lot of variations and exploration with thumbnails. This is one of my newest artwork. This is a combination of Artrage and Clip Studio Paint. And it also started very like, maybe just quickly, I'm gonna show it to you until here's my folders. This is my folders just for the last few years. Every month has its folder. And then I paint and sort all my stuff in folders. So here you can see the initial ideas for this painting here. Like from this, it started from this. Like sorry, not this, where is it? Yeah, it started from this, and then it turned into, let me see, I think it's here, and then I will jump it on Clip Studio Paint and try to do a little demo or something that you would be interested in. And again, I want to tell you again, thank you for attending my TED Talk. I'll try not to be cringy too much. It's unavoidable. Yeah, this is, for example, one of the first sketches for this, the complete sketch for this painting. I knew what I want to have, and in the end, I just changed this policeman to this lady. It just looks prettier. So you can see how this initial process is very, very important to determine just almost everything. Almost all the colors are the same. Almost even the composition is the same, just flipped. And I moved away from a panoramic because of printing. This is just a huge bother to do. So I hope through this little showcase, I hope you realize what I want to talk about. So let's go into Clip Studio Paint. I have also Artrage opened, which is, as I said, my second. Well, maybe it's our Clip and Artrage share the first place for sketching. All right, let's go into Clip Studio Paint. I'm gonna just go through these little files that I have here. Yeah, let's show this. So this is something an artist wouldn't show. You know, you wouldn't see this on Twitter. You wouldn't see this on their Patreon pages or on their Instagrams. You know, they won't show you these non-flashy sketches. But what this needs is just a layer over it. Just put a layer over it. I love hard light blend mode or multiply. I switched to a pencil. I have a bunch of pencils that I made. I make my own brushes. And what this needs is just like an idea. Let's see. Okay, all right, I have some trees here in the distance covered by the landscape. Some path leading here. I have some more trees. So I'm trying to like really be loose. And you've seen me on streams. I do a lot of, you know, I kind of try to amuse myself while I'm doing this. And I, you know me, I love windmills, and I just put windmills everywhere. Wind turbines, sorry. I will start with something like this, and all right, these are some clouds, cool. So we're just blocking out our picture. These are, in my head, some more trees in the foreground. So just mess around. Don't worry about it. You know, don't worry about it. You can just mess around and try to express what you actually want to accomplish with your sketching. I am usually very loose when I do this. I don't expect. I don't really like go into much details. I love drawing houses and trees and like these rural elements, little fences, gates, maybe some car here. Yeah, this is 2 lines. It's a car. You know, you try to express as much as you can in as little as possible, so you don't get overwhelmed. You don't get overwhelmed, and you don't get you don't get to spend too much time on your sketches. But because we have some colors here in the background, let me just hide it. So I use custom brushes that I make, and I think I didn't talk with Mario about this, but I would be happy to share some of them that are paid to all the people who applied. So we'll talk about it after the webinar or some other day. There is a free set of my brushes. You can get it on my website. But I would love to share maybe some of my newer brushes that I made, or some of them that are not public yet. So Mario will, I'll talk with him, and maybe some of you would love seeing and working with these brushes. Let's see. So yes, I usually like start either with some line art, or I start with like this color jumble that you can see here. I just try to make it fun for me, because I believe strongly in that we are creating things better when we are enjoying what we do. And small sketches like this are very easy to adapt, very easy to change, very easy to do variations of. So let's see, hard light, normal. Okay, let's just move this layer here. We're digital artists, so we are using our digital media to help us as much as we can. So I do a lot of this. For example, I love doing this. I just take a big brush and bam, 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 bam. Get some basic colors down. And a big advice: do not be afraid of color. Color is your friend. Usually, like, people are very afraid of color, like how to start with color, how to they are very sorry, I have a slight throat ache. I hope you don't mind. People just are afraid to start with color because color is intimidating. I understand color is intimidating, but I made myself not be intimidated with colors, and I got myself familiarized with my tools, which is very important. I've been using Clip Studio Paint now for probably about 2 years, almost exclusively, and Artrage. I have to mention Artrage. This is not a webinar about Artrage, but I am very happy that I have software that wants to listen to me what I'm doing. So I'm not battling with my software. You can see I'm just doing my strokes without much problems and issues because I'm comfortable doing this. And I would advise all of the beginners, and that's most of you probably, to get familiar with your painting tools first. Because if you're battling with your brushes, if you're battling with your basic tools, you will have a harder time. Getting your points across. So what am I doing right now? I am just painting on a layer underneath this line work. And I'm just quickly, because we don't have enough time. This is very tricky, not tricky. It's a topic that's has lots of things that can be covered, and I want to try to talk about the most important ones. So I do a lot of this, and sketches like this can really help to get the ideas out. And at some point you will see I will just remove the line work, and I will have something that's not finished, not super extra sexy, but it will do the work that it needs to do. And because I told you to relax with color, I have to also say that color isn't easy, but many people tell me that I'll make it look easy. It's just your mileage. If you're a beginner artist and you're struggling to to get something out. Don't worry about it. I've been starting my digital painting when I was 25, so I'm 35 now. So about 10 years of doing painting. So don't get discouraged. Find a good niche that you enjoy working on. Do a lot of sketches. Use reference. Mario asked me before the stream to maybe show this. So I use reference when I need to, and this is a program called PureRef. And I will take a look. You know, there are some houses, and here are some little buildings in the background. So I don't directly copy it. I take a look at it to see what I'm drawing. This is a cute scene, you know. This could be easily replicated, but the point is not to replicate it. The point is to look at it and know what you're drawing. So don't shy away from using reference, especially if you're beginning. And as I said in the beginning of this little webinar, I can't really now create a big masterpiece for you, but I will try. Just I hope you can see, excuse me, you can see that this thing comes naturally, and I am kind of feeling comfortable while doing this. And even though we didn't really like prepare a script, we didn't really prepare a table of contents, because I do live streams and similar, I felt like it would be the best if we just acted. If I just acted like I'm just talking with friends and we are just on my live stream and we're talking about things. So I hope you don't mind for a little abruptness, if a little abruptness happens. Let me show you quickly now how it looks with outline. So you can see it's slowly starting to kind of appear. And this is a really nice way to start when you're a beginner. You can start with, it doesn't have to be complicated. You can just have a little rectangle, divide it in two parts. You know the rule of thirds probably now. Yeah. You can go, yeah, it's the good way to put a horizon line is like either on the top third here or the bottom third here. So for simplicity's sake, I will put it like actually here, for example. Nah, better here, because you'll have more sky if your horizon line is down. And how would you define a simple landscape is one where there is a lot of skies. So it doesn't have to be anything epic. It can just be a little little house, little grain silo here. Like I love grain silos. It's something it's very fun for me. Love to paint those. And little trees. And you can see I'm just little trees and just in my head, I tell myself, oh, it's little trees. Because I see myself that it actually turns into little trees and little light post. This is the foreground. You can kind of establish maybe some perspective. So don't go crazy. Start simple, as it gets. Maybe there's a bunch of clouds, like a huge cloud here. Yeah, let's do that. And maybe some path. So you can see I do big strokes. I use big strokes. I use simple lines, so I don't complicate things too much. And just like this, in a few minutes, you get yourself a simple landscape. You can add characters. You can do whatever you want, you know, because this is your thing and you're here to quickly add or remove elements. I don't really draw many characters in my art, so I will just keep up to the landscape part. So keep it simple, especially if you're a beginner. Keep it simple. Have some line art. If you're not comfortable or confident with your painting chops with color, try line art. I sincerely believe that it's better to start with line art than grayscale, but grayscale has its uses and points, but I don't really do it much a lot. So this is my webinar, not concept artist's webinar, because I'm not a concept artist. Some other people can probably talk to you about this. I'm not the person. I really don't do too much black and white anymore, because I want to get familiar with color as much as I can. Like, you can change color, you can just mess around with everything, and so don't worry, don't be scared. Don't be it's stupid to say don't be scared. Try to get more comfortable with these things. Yeah, if something doesn't look well, you can easily change it here in Clip Studio Paint. I actually like this. Look at these colors. These look very, very nighttimey, you know. And I can keep these colors, and I can copy this layer and create a version of this. No biggie. So this is the most fun part. Before I go on to another one, I want to show you another trick process. So it's just on top of this, because when you do line work, if you set up everything with line art, when you paint underneath, some things won't really be visible. The lines will mess with you and you won't be able to see properly if it's good or not. Just this is your line layer, and you can see some things are kind of getting lost. Just make a new layer over it. Just make a new layer over it, and just go over some of these lines that are maybe in the way. Just go over this, and it will help you a lot, because you will be able to paint without distraction of the lines. And sometimes you can see a jumble of lines like this can be in your way, so it's good to remove them by painting over them. Oh, sorry, my Clip Studio Paint has to update it. So I usually paint with line layer in between, and one layer for the big things below, and one layer for the smaller details that are lost because of lines that's over the things. So you can see this is slowly starting to take shape. Slowly starting to take shape into a little house in a tree. I mean, it's something that I default for because it's comfortable. And this webinar, we don't have a lot of time, so this is what we do. Yeah, I have this little car here. In my head, it was a car, so I just want to put a little highlight on it so you can see it clearer. I like to simplify things. You see that I like simplifying things, and it's a good skill to have. If you're looking for a good skill to develop, go for implying of details. That thing will save your butts so many times. Believe me, that thing is super important. I just implied a car with a few lines, you know. That's something that will save you so much work, and it will make it more fun, because it's always more fun to create a shape with a few lines than to go into all the details and you have only 1,000 pixels to work with. I don't know if this looks all right. I think it does, you know, for the purpose of everything. So I am not talking about technical things too much, because everybody's process is different. But I can definitely tell you, don't use big canvases. Use bigger brushes. Get comfortable with your tools. Those tools, those technical aspects will, like, it's stupid to say make you a better artist, but they will make you somebody who is much more comfortable with what they're doing. Yeah, and just add elements if you want to. This is a sketch. You can add whatever you want. You can add a flying cat here because you can. Let's add a Hovercat. Everybody knows, who follows my streams, Hovercat is a little flying kitty. Let's add it here. Boom. It has a hat. It's flying around. There's a little vest. There are 4 legs. Whee! And it's flying around. Yeah. Just have fun. It's such an important thing, and many people that I know kind of doesn't do too much. And the technical things will come with time. With time, you will get comfortable. You will get better at things. And now let's see again how this looks with outlines. You can see we have colors, we have the mood, we have some light coming here, and you can see it makes sense because our light is coming from, let's say, from here. So we have these cloud lines being accented, and we have some little light accents here to show light falling on the fields. We have this pretty little cloud here. This wispy little cloud. So you can see me, I'm just enjoying. I love doing this. I can do this all day, but we don't have all day. So I will now just switch to like my general process with outline art. So you can just see how easy it can sometimes be. Just to try it yourself. Like you can see this little sketch here can be filled in like 5 minutes. If you don't have this sketch, you don't have to have a sketch. You can just start with, first, find a good brush. Find a good brush that you're very comfortable with sketching. I have my own brushes, as I said. They are fun to sketch with. They are something that I love using. And I use Clip Studio Paint, and I make all of my brushes. So I'm going to use this one. I usually just pick a pretty color. Let's do red. That's something orange. I love orange red. And I will do this. Bam, 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 and then, because if you start with color, you have to remember color is a relative thing, and you always have to think about how colors relate to each other. So if I'm going to add another color, you see me picking here, okay, this is like a 50% gray. Pay attention to these sliders. These sliders are very important. They show you how your color is, how light or dark your color is. So I have this medium color. Now I want to add a dark one. I will darken it down. You can see it's 30%. You probably can't see. I will darken it down. I will change the hue a little bit. And already we are starting to create a dynamic between two colors. I can mix them in. I can have a lot of fun with them. So just not being scared is quite important. And now add a third color that's lighter. We have this white of the canvas, but we don't like white of the canvas too much. So we'll just use yellow gray, for example. But it's still much lighter than this red. And let me quickly change to darken blend mode. So darken blend mode is a blend mode where you can paint on top of things while not affecting darker colors. You're just affecting lighter colors. To quickly fill this in with an interesting little yellow gray. And change back to normal blend mode. So I already have now some basis for something that I want to do. I will associate this with autumn. Maybe this is some autumn of woods, some yellow, pretty yellow tones. So you can start without line work. You can just quickly add some color around and just have a lot of fun doing this. I personally really love doing this. You can use a soft brush. This is not a soft brush. Yeah, you can use a soft brush to change the colors. Like I'm selecting a yellow, and my soft brush has a hard light blending mode. I can do this if I want, or just one part, I will just make this super intense. So I can play around with this color that I got. So this process should be as fun, as relaxed as you can do. So what I can recommend is to stick with things that are familiar to you. Like that will be a really good way to get motivated and not to lose yourself. So stick with things that you know about. That maybe you're into biology, you can paint dinosaurs, biology, sorry, like what's the field? Dinosaurology. Yeah, I just made a new field. Draw dinosaurs. Maybe you like manga or anime. You can draw stuff that's inspired from that. You can do whatever you want because you're just sketching. You're not creating some finished masterpiece. So you can see me, I'm just like noodling around. And at some point I can choose to add a new layer, or I can draw on my line layer. So I can maybe think, all right, do I want to have some tall trees here maybe? Yeah, let's have some tall trees. Explore while you're in this sketch mode. Don't be afraid of it. Just go crazy. That's my big advice. Don't go crazy in the head, but go crazy with these beautiful things that are on our fingertips. These digital colors that are really fun to work with, and you don't have to worry about drying time or whatnot. But even if you do traditional art, doing small pieces, small thumbnails can really help you learn quicker. Yeah, and I'm now trying to add some more context to this, maybe widening the image. We can do that. We are sketching. We are not creating expensive artwork that needs 50 hours to just get the underpainting done. We're just chilling here. Now let's use this orange here. It is a good thing to kind of try to pick your colors from the canvas. It's a good thing to mirror your colors. If this is a river, this is water, it will reflect these colors that are above. It will reflect the moon. So learn those basic things. Learn about art fundamentals, about contrast, about composition, about like there's many things to learn from. So I can advise you definitely to stick with the basics as much as you can. If you have the freedom, stick with the basics, because basics will give you a good spine to your artwork. And if your artwork is a creature, art fundamentals like value, composition, contrast, edges are super important. Those things are your backbone. And then just go forward from there. If you don't know how to paint landscape, start simply. Start simply and don't worry if your first landscape isn't this epic sci-fi cityscape or naturescape something. Yeah, because you need to go through. Every professional will tell you, I am a professional too, fortunately. Kidding, it's fortunately, not unfortunately. But I'm not taking myself too seriously. Just again go through how much of these I do. And all of my friends, artist friends, they do a lot of sketching. They do a lot of preparation. Let's once more just take a look at how many different ideas, how many different colors, how many different relations and ideas you need to go through to get. This is like 3 different little ideas based on the single idea. And this little thumbnail became this. So you can see just having a good base helps you so much. I have like a outlook of a little house and trees and a highway and a person and a car and a light post and a tank and a tree and a hovercat. Let's see. But that wouldn't happen if there weren't for this sketch and this sketch and this sketch. So because every one of these is a great chance to experiment, to learn color. Like I specifically love this one on the rightmost. I love the composition here and the colors and the mood, and I will definitely, in some point, I will take it and will make something. This here too. This color combination is just relaxed and free, and I was having a lot of fun. You can see here is a car. As I say, 3 lines and that's a car. Because you don't want to go into details before you're sure that you want to paint something. And I've shown you how it's very easy to start something. These colors are maybe too vibrant. Maybe too vibrant. We can. I love vibrant colors. I love many things. Vibrant colors are one of them. But let's do it a less vibrant color. So you can do this. You can just paint with a huge brush and have this as your base. And then like, all right, let's do this. Big brushes, brush economy, super helpful. Getting my outlines quick and paying attention to my values. I'm squinting all the time. Like I squint a lot just so I can know that my colors and values are all right. Let's see, let's add a little bit of blue. We don't want to have it gray completely. It's not cool. Let's add a little bit of green to this. Yeah, this is what you hear when you go to my live streams. I do a lot of sound effects. It's just what makes me happy. What can you do? So very quickly we created a bunch of small ideas that are something we can continue working on and refining and make this a base for our new artwork, for our stylistic explorations, our fun time with our art. And that will show, believe me, that will really show. People tend to see when you're enjoying your stuff. And if you're a beginner, there is no excuse to not enjoy what you're doing. Or if you're not a professional, there is absolutely no excuse to work on things that you don't enjoy. Like zero excuse. You don't have an excuse, mister. So get on and make quick sketches, make thumbnails, explore these basics, learn them, and become a better artist. I really believe in all of you that you can get things out. If I can do it, I'm a lazy bastard. Believe me, I'm a lazy person. I'm just somebody who is comfortable with this, but I am such a lazy person. I am not. I'm not lazy. I'm just efficient, you know. I am driven, and I am definitely, I can say it, I am driven, and I love doing this, but I'm not somebody who paints all day, every day. If I can do it, you can do it too. You just need a solid base. A solid base is sketching, thumbnailing, working on ideas and transforming them and exploring. And you can see I just added a lighter color here because it felt it needed a lighter color, because you evaluate your painting constantly, and all of these colors were very mid-tony, so I just decided to pick this color to move it more to a warm color, and again, a relativity. I want this yellow to stand out from this green. So I've changed the hue and the saturation and the value of the color, all of these things. And now we have a fun, interesting accent. We have a fun, interesting accent on our page here. Let's see. So pay attention to hue, saturation, and lightness. These are very, very important sliders. You will need them a lot. Let's draw like a foreground. And let's paint a subtle highlight here in the foreground. Yeah, and now remove the line. So you can see it's starting to look like something. And now I will just paint on this layer above that I made. And I'll just quickly remove or add some little accents here to delineate where our things are. This is a very simple process, and I think a lot of people can grasp concepts like this. And I hope something like this will help you create your own art a little bit more comfortable. You definitely, if you're interested in stuff like this, go to my streams, visit my streams, ask me questions. I will be online after I'm finished with this. I will be live, and you can ask me questions
Zivko?
there also. Yes?
Maybe we can start the question while you continue.
Yes, please.
Drawing.
Okay.
So there are a lot of questions. I will try to pick a few on the times that we have. But the first one will be like, how many hours do you spend drawing each day? Where do you get your motivation?
Sometimes I don't draw for a week, believe me. Sometimes I don't draw for a week. There are no rules. When I draw daily, you know what I'm doing? I'm streaming, and that makes me also draw and interact with everybody. It's almost kind of my excuse to not be lazy. So I spend probably 2, 3, 4 hours, 5, something like that when I'm painting. But I think if you're not somebody who is painting for 8 hours a day, don't feel bad, because just the time invested in something isn't the determining factor. Will it be good? If you start thinking about efficiency, you can see I just spent 45 minutes on these. Just 3 little paintings. I am fast with this, but you could probably do it also if you started. So yeah, about when I'm drawing probably about 3, let's say 3 to 4 hours max. I don't believe that I never go overboard. I'm trying to take care of my health and my back and my wrists, my eyes, and so don't overexert. That's not an excuse, you know. People.
That's a great advice.
Yes, because people take physical injuries as a badge of honor. Ooh, I draw for 50 hours a day, you know, I don't have eyes anymore. All right, next question.
Thank you. So I recall that you share a reference app.
Yes, it's called Pure Ref, like clean,
cool.
Pure Ref, PUREREF.com. It's a let me quickly open like how my reference board looks. This is like, I just put a random images. I love looking at images, and that's like my big source of inspiration. Sometimes I spend more time consuming visual content than drawing, because I feel it's very important. Let me load my morning mist. Yeah, this can do. Yeah, this is my reference board. There are some birds. there are some fields. Just like looking at it, I'm thinking about adding a rainbow to a painting. Looking at things like these lily orchids. I don't know what the flower is. I love reference. So take this program is super cool. Let me load
That's
another
really
one
awesome.
just so you can see.
And talking about
Awesome.
references, what are your art references, like painters or digital artists?
What are my references? Excuse me, I don't understand the question.
If you have
Do
like
I
a reference of
art?
painters,
Aha,
art
I
in
have
general.
everything. I love traditional painting, so I have a bunch of albums. Let's do this. I'm gonna open you right now. I'm gonna open you my reference folder. I have a lot of things that I collect. So this is my reference folder. Each of these has a bunch of pictures. So I try to categorize them, and then sometimes I want to paint a landscape. Click a bunch of landscapes. Cool. Photography is the one. I love photography. I need a glacier in my image. I don't really. I never painted a glacier, but if I need one, here they are. I have some. I have a visual eye for photography. I love photography, so I can tell what's a good reference. Like here are a few images that can help me, you know. So I sort.
Mhm.
So I do use reference. Yes, I do use the reference. You know, tanks, whatever. You can. It's very useful to have it sorted. Okay. So yeah, references as painters, as art, as photography. So find what you like. That's also, it connects everything. I love traditional painting, so I have a
Mhm.
lot of traditional painting reference, and
Awesome.
Russian art especially. Okay.
And by the way, another question is like, do you sell your artworks?
You mean my prints? I always sell
Yes.
prints. I sell
Mm-hmm.
prints. I have an Etsy store, but it's not updated. Uh, but I recently made a series of new prints. Let me show you, like this one. This is not a print. Where are my prints? I sell my prints usually. I just want to find them because I'm a silly goose. Here I am. Like this is my newest print that I made at home. So A4 prints, it's $20 a piece. It's fine art print. Like here is this one. You just have to message me somewhere. I am lucky that I'm not a big artist. That's what's sometimes cool to say, you know. I'm lucky that I'm a big artist. I can personally take care of any requests. So just if you want a print of any of my images, just contact me somewhere. I am very easily reachable. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Discord. You can find me I'm super easy reachable, and just let me know. I can sign your print, I can make it custom size, or just sell you one of the default sizes. So yes, I sell my prints, and that's a big amount of my income when I have a good month with print sales. That helps
Awesome.
me directly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you create for printing, what are the sizes of your canvas? Do you work with a specific DPI?
No, at first. I never think about prints right away. Um, I just I just make a painting. I just don't obsess about it. Uh, I will make a print
Mm-hmm.
after I have a product. Of course, you know, if you want to make something into a print, maybe not to maybe like just take care to have a file for at least 4 or 5,000 pixels, because when you have around 5,000 pixels that are good, and you get there slowly. I start with an image like this, and then I resize it, and I add more details, resize it, add more details. Once you're around 5,000 pixels, you're safe. You can resize it up to 10,000 pixels. It won't be really too much big of a
Mm-hmm.
difference. So canvas size, I don't know. I sell also big prints, like canvas prints, like 30 inches, like 1 meter wide. My
Mm-hmm.
biggest print is 1.5 meters wide. So I do, but if you have those, then of course you have to pay attention to your resolution. But when you create, don't obsess over it, because you want pretty colors. You want that you want it to look pretty, and then it's easy to create a print out of it, especially if you have a home printer. You can kind of tweak it. And I recently made a home printer, got a home printer, and I'm trying to make it look approximate. So I'm not going for like 100% copy of screen colors, because that's impossible. Screen colors are a big bother. So yeah, I do so. I do like my usual or like original size for files. Let's take a look at this one. This one is, I think, about 5,000 pixels. Let me check. Change image resolution. Yeah, this is about 5,000 pixels, but I can safely resize it to like 7,000, 8,000 pixels. That's enough for about 25, 30-inch print, no problem. Or 70 centimeters, 80 centimeters, and super enough for like A4s, A3s. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? What was I painting? I forgot. Where's my files? Here. Good. Right.
Another question is, because you mentioned that you work side by side, Clip Studio and Artrage.
Yes.
What's your favorite feature of Clip Studio Paint?
Oh, my favorite feature is the brushes. I like the customizability. Customization. Let's say customization of brushes.
I was thinking of that.
I like this because this engine is quite powerful. I like the performance, and I like the flip. Rulers are super helpful, but I like, because I am all about brushes, I love the preset system. It's very, very good. It's very quick to change and export, and it is a bit chore to replace your brushes. I wish they kind of implement some bulk replacement of brushes. Clip Studio Paint, if you're listening, work on that. What I like the most when I make my brushes is that I can choose which specific property is shown in the tool property window by clicking this little eye here, and you can show or hide specific windows. Blending mode. Now I don't have it in the tool property. Now I have it. I want to have it because I change blending modes of my brushes sometimes. And another favorite feature of Clip Studio and Krita is almost exactly the same. They have wonderful curve controls. So these are curve controls here. So you can control your brushes with tilt and pressure. You can see these curves. My brushes are often controlled by tilt. And what I like also is the ability that you can enlarge brushes with tilt, which is something you do not get in other programs. You can enlarge your brush. In Photoshop, you can only make it smaller. But in Clip Studio, you can make it smaller and bigger, which is fantastic. They have a minimum value and maximum value, and you can set these curves. And this is a very good way of controlling your brushes, especially with smudgy brushes. Let me show you some quickly. Where is it? Ink. Yeah, amount of paint. You can see my little tweaks for everything. You can tweak how much color is on your brush based on your tilt, and it's very controllable. It lacks a few features like the dual brush and color blend, like color randomization, that the color dynamics it's called in Photoshop, but it's a very powerful feature. And the rulers are very powerful. And now the new, if you're doing line work, apps export and EPS format apps export and import vector layers. But for me, brushes, I just like brushes. I'm a big fan of brush work. You can see all that I do is just brush work. No hidden plugins. Yes.
And now we go, unfortunately, with the last question, because time flies. But it's about brushes.
Yes.
How do you classify your own brushes? Do you have like a set of brushes specifically for a rough sketch and other ones for polish illustration? How do
It
you
would be too
manage
much
all of your
work, man.
brushes?
It would be too much work if I had to classify them. I
Uh-huh.
don't. I basically don't classify them. I kind of because the nature of my illustration is like this. I don't need to classify them. I do classify them just in pencils. I have some pencils that are dedicated pencils, dedicated soft brushes, because I love this in Clip Studio, because when you have press B once, you get a brush. You press B twice, it switches to airbrush. And you can set one of your favorite soft brushes to be the default one. It's the same with the pencil. It switches between pencil and pen. So you can have two presets on one. I love this. And so I have brushes, pencils, and blenders. So, but because I'm an idiot, I love to make everything in one brush. I love a brush that can sketch and blend at the same time. That's something that I really enjoy. It's like, let me quickly show you. Where is it? I'll be quick. I just want to find, yeah. This brush both paints and blends. So, pam, pam, pam. I tilt my brush and I blend it. And now I tilt it 90 degrees and I draw. And I tilt it more and I blend. So I like everything in one brush. I'm a person like that. I love this extensive amount of control over my brushes. So that's how I cut. So blenders, pencils, and general brushes and soft brushes. Yeah, that can be all that you need. That you need a soft brush always. Soft brushes are very important for subtle details. Yeah.
Well, so thank you so much, Zivko. This has been amazing. I'm pretty sure we could continue hours and hours, but that's why you have your Twitch channel. So
yes, yeah, we will continue. Yeah, we'll continue on Twitch. Just to remind everybody, we'll continue on Twitch in like after we're done with the webinar. Just make sure you follow. And yeah, excuse me, I interrupted you.
No, actually, that's the information that I wanted to share to all of you who are still with us. That for more information and learn about Clip Studio Paint, please visit our site. And also, as I mentioned you, this webinar has been recorded and we'll upload it to our YouTube channel, Graphics Link Clip Studio Paint channel. So please subscribe so you will get a notification once it's available. And for more information about Zivko, please follow him on his social media, Zhillustrator. Let me know if I say it correctly. You
it's
can find
Zhillustrator, it's like that.
Yeah, so you can follow him on Instagram, go to his Patreon, Twitter, and his Twitch, and also his website.
And you can buy his prints and everything
exactly.
else.
Contact directly him.
Yes.
Thank you, Zivko. It's been a pleasure. You're an amazing artist, and thank you all of you for staying with us, for sharing us on your Instagram stories and social media. So again,
yes, I also want to say everybody thank you for your attention, and I hope I wasn't too erratic because I'm trying to fit as much as I can in this small amount without being the jumble.
Everybody loved you, so.
Oh, everybody loved me. It's perfect.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you all of you, and we'll see you in our next webinar.
And I see you on Twitch.
See Zivko on Twitch. So
bye.
See you next time.
See you next time.